On Saturday, the rugby world watched as the Springboks conducted an exorcism on the Wallabies, which left most South Africans' jaws on the floor as we witnessed a bright new shining star in Feinberg-Mngomezulu. He went psycho on the field. Let's hope this bad intro doesn't leave a bad omen on the Springboks for next week in Perth. That's it for the bad puns in this video.
Nice.
In this video, we will have a look at the stats, go through some talking points for both Australia and South Africa. If you like a few rugby stats and content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and smash that like button for this video before we get into it. For the stats of the match, I don't want to bore you by reading out all these stats. If you want to go through these stats, I will leave a link in the description below so you can go through it. I've broken it down into 4 sections. Ball is kicked out, contestable kicks either won or lost, and non-contestable kicks. Normally when a fullback or wing is isolated or alone and has to kick the ball into the midfield as deep as possible to get his team onside for the next play. Australia kicked the ball 21 times. They kicked the ball out 6 times. Contestable kicks they had 5 in total and they lost all of them. Non-contestable kicks, Australia had 10. Now, if you ever wanted to know what goes on during a halftime talk and how tactics can change, this stat says it all. 1 total kicks during the game. They only kicked the ball 5 times in the second half. 1 was a forced kick when they marked the ball in their own 22, and the other kick that needs to be mentioned. Rob Valentini intercepted the ball from Kobus Reinach and kicked the ball downfield because he knew he was too slow to run the 60-odd meters and score. With the 16 kicks in the first half compared to the 5 kicks in the second half, it's clear that Joe Smith realized that the Wallabies were losing the aerial battle and had to change tactics at halftime. The change in tactics were to keep the ball in hand and to not give it away to the opposition. Both halftime scores shows this, as the Wallabies conceded 21 points in the first half compared to the 12 points in the second half. I expect Australia to do more of this by keeping the ball in hand in the second test at Perth. Out of the 25 kicks in total, we saw 1 failed attempt at drop goal by Cheslin Colby. The Springboks kicked the ball out a total of 8 times, and out of the 8 contestable kicks, the Springboks won back 4. They also had 8 non-contestable kicks in total. The Springboks game plan is built around their kicking game, always moving the opposition backwards. In their first half, the Springboks kicked the ball a total of 18 times, compared to the second half, they only kicked the ball 7 times. Both teams had trouble in the discipline department with a total of 27 penalties in the game. It felt like a stop-start kind of game. Out of the 15 penalties conceded by Australia, their ill discipline was split throughout the game, with 8 penalties conceded in the first half and 7 penalties conceded in the second. Their best discipline quarter came in the last 20 minutes of the game, which saw them only conceding 1 penalty. Forwards conceded a total of 8 penalties, 4 of them coming at scrum time. Backline players conceded 5 penalties and 1 yellow card to Andrew Callaway for a dangerous tackle, and their bench only conceded 2 penalties. For South Africa, it's the exact opposite. With a total of 12 penalties conceded, their forward pack behaved the best, giving away 3 penalties, all conceded by Eben Etzebeth. The backline players conceded a total of 5 penalties, 1 yellow card when Jesse Kriel slapped the ball down in the 79th minute. What is concerning is that the bomb squad gave away 4 penalties and 2 yellow cards. I've said this in my matchday preview video. Both South Africa and Australia are the 2 worst teams when it comes to discipline coming into the Rugby Championship. The Springboks are the only team in the Rugby Championship with a retired international rugby referee appointed as the Laws and Discipline Advisor. Yet in the past 5 games, the Springboks have 8 cards in total given to their players for ill discipline. This is definitely a department where the Springboks needs to work on in future. When taking a big loss of 7-33 at home, there's not a lot of positives to take away from an Australian perspective. But the one that needs to be mentioned is Carlo Tizzano. On debut, he had a massive game for the Wallabies. He had the most tackles in the game with 19 completed tackles and made 1 turnover straight after halftime when he caught Jesse Kriel holding onto the ball before he was substituted in the 62nd minute of the game. Well done to you, Carlo Tizzano. The line-out is to me the set piece in which the Springboks are showing the greatest innovation. This will be an area now where the Springboks can keep the opposition guessing at all times. With a strong forward pack, the Springboks can outmaul anyone on the day, or decide to play quick to the blind side between forwards. The Springboks also showed that they can play quickly to the open side when you have a player's ability like Kwagga Smith. And now this. I don't know what this was called, but this was brilliant. Throw a ball to the back pod and set up a maul in the first pod. Sasha is the real deal. Sasha started off with a shank off the kicking tee but remained calm. He had 8 carries, 1 clean break, 3 defenders beaten and 34 meters gained in what would have been his second try assist for the match had Vili just passed the ball. He is showing a lot of promise in the start of his international career. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this type of rugby content, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.